Mikey. It looks like your music go around bass body has shown up. Let's cut into it. Get my scissors here. Oh gosh. It has these giant staples in it. These stupid things. Hold please. Alright, I'll fix its wagon. Remember, this is just a base body. This box is like 10 inches thick. So it's probably wrapped in a million pieces of bubble tape or something. Dude, is this necessary? Is this really necessary? Yep. You think it's wrapped enough? I don't. Aha! There it is, Mikey. Gotta get this poly off. That's the first thing to go. Let's spin the thing. Ooh, this is really nice. All right, so there's a little ding here and there. Well, that's gonna come off, man. I'm taking all the poly off. It's gonna look great. I'm looking at the wood grains. Yeah, that's gonna be nice. He wants me to paint it like a blue, and then we'll fade it to purple around the edge, and then it'll turn to black. So we'll stain it like that. Yeah, this is gonna look really sharp, buddy. So it begins. Nice maple body. Has all the electronics in it. I'm about to test these pickups. I'm curious how hot they are. I got you some new goodies for this thing though. I think I'm going to keep the existing electronics, but I'm going to do a couple things to them to make them better. First thing is this. I'm going to spray all the pots with contact cleaner so there's no ickies, and so that they glide smooth and will have years of perfect operation. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back through the solders. And I'm going to replace it with the super awesome lead cord, rosin cord, made in Mexico cord solder, which is just better joints and cleaner. So those are the two things I'm going to do to make sure the electronics are good. And then I'm going to swap these pickups. We got the quarter pounders, baby. I have these in one of my bases, and they are awesome for non-active pickups. You know, they're super punchy, and I usually run the volume knobs around 7-ish with these. Well, at least on the neck pickup, and then I rolled the treble back to 5 or vice versa. I don't know, I'd have to go look and see how I'm playing it, but they're just super punchy and articulate, and you can get pretty much any tone you really are chasing on the bass with these two pickups. I'm going to replace this bridge too. I got that over here. Blam! With that bad boy. It is, I forgot the name of this bridge. It is called the Kick-Ass 4 by Hipshot. Hipshot. Kick-Ass 4. Bass bridge. Yes, sirree, Bob. Oh, it looks awesome. Look at those little brass saddles. Sweet! Let's get going. Let's test these pickups. Put it in ohms, 20K. Let's see how hot they are. So the neck pickup is reading 3.79 resistance, and the bridge, come on, 3.79. They're exactly the same. So they're each 3.79. In comparison, the new Seymour Duncans. Let's see what they're clocking in at. I'd imagine they're going to be much hotter. Yeah, 13.92. And I would imagine this one's pretty similar. And this one's clocking in at 13.22. So a little less hot. One of these is neck, one of these is bridge. The bridge a little less hot actually than the neck. The neck's a little hotter. There you go, guys. So it's 4 times as hot as the original pickups in here. That's going to make a huge difference in the bass. Spraying in the contact cleaner into these pots. So there's a little wedge gap right here. I'm just blast a little bit. There's a little much, but whatever. I'll clean it up. Oops, I think I missed. There we go. I do an overly generous amount. I mean, I made a huge mess all over the guitar, but I know it got in there. Now I'm just going to twist it back and forth a few times. Work it in. Make sure it's nice and smooth. These knobs feel great, actually. Those little pots in there, they actually feel really nice. So I just don't see a reason to replace them. They're super smooth. As long as they're making good contact, there's no reason to replace them. So they're staying. Let's look at this switch. I don't want this wire wrapped over the top of it. Let's fix that. It's fine, minus the ground wire. I have to fix the ground wire. There's no ground wire. I think the jack itself's fine. Nothing fancy about it. I might consider replacing it. I'll think about it. Could maybe use a switchcraft. Otherwise, yeah, man, the electronics look solid. We'll just have to check them, make sure they're all working, and we'll go from there. And then I'll probably replace that jack, just so I feel better. For my buddy Mikey. Oh, it's so shiny. Oh, look at all the plastic. Makes it so shiny. I hate that. You guys know that. All this is coming off. To the heat gun with you. Time to remove all that nasty plastic off of it. I've stripped all the electronics out. I got to take these 2 end caps off. And then the part I'm dreading, which is taking off all this plastic. I hope it comes off easy. I've done a couple of them now. Some have come off and just chipped off pretty easy when I started to heat it up, and others, it was a nightmare. All right, this process is so arduous and slow. So I've gotten that much of the back of the bass off. It is a huge pain in the butt. I'll shoot a few seconds of me doing it here, just so you guys get a sense of how slow going this is and how much this really is in front of you. All right, so, man, this was a nightmare getting this finish off this body. As you can see, there's still a few spots where the finish still is. I didn't want to burn the wood. So, you know, I got a little toasty there. I'm hoping that stands out. Otherwise, it'll just be a cool effect. But we're about to hit this thing with the orbital sander, 240 grit. See if I can't peel the rest of the gnarlies off of it and get it silky smooth, baby. Look what came in, the neck. I do have a problem with the neck though. So the neck is, and it's gonna be too hard to show you on camera, but it's not fitting in the pocket. So we're gonna have to sand it down just a little bit so it fits in the pocket. But that's not what we're here to talk about. That's just something I gotta fix. What we're here to talk about is we're almost ready to stain the body. My favorite part, actually. So I talked to Mikey, and Mikey says his favorite color is purple. So he wanted to do like a blue center and then work it out to purple. And then we'll probably make a black edge, which I typically make kind of like a, you know, like a burst kind of thing going. So I have RIT dyes here. So I have aquamarine, and then I have royal blue to the actual purple. We're gonna start with the true black stain over the body, and we're gonna sand it back to pull out all the green. Make it look awesome, make it pop. And then we'll see if we go with some mineral spirits, make the green pop even more. So I'll show you some progress as we get moving. But here's something cool to look at. Yeah, baby. Ooh, they're hard to see in the light, but these are nice and brushed. Got them brushed up. Oh yeah, that's going sharp. Also got this brushed up. So my experiment with the spalted maple veneers, I'm working on, look at that beautiful, beautiful spalted maple right there. Yes, sir. So I bought these thin veneer spalted maple sheets, and they're beautiful. They look all warped and nasty, you know, I'm not gonna use them. So went back to the original pick guard, but I've kind of made it a matte finish. I don't know that I'm done with this yet, but it's starting to get the look I want. And then, oh, look at that. Love how the light's reflecting off that. That's nice and brushed and ready to be put on the base. Okay, just got the frame. True black, the L is blacked out. Yeah, just got it on the body. So this is the first coat. I'll do the edge later, really. This part's about popping the front and back grain, so I hit the top and the back with the true black, wiped it off with the cloth. Now I'm gonna take it outside and sand it. Okay, here's what it looks like sanded back. Yeah, just enough the grain popping. You know, I was focusing more on these center spots where I'm gonna put the color. That black looks sharp, so that edge is gonna look really cool. I'll have to clean it up, but that's gonna be really nice. I'm hoping. We got a ways to go, but it's coming along. Yeah, baby. Okay, I lost track of time and forgot to shoot a bunch of videos, so here's what it looks like. I resoldered the pickups, got them in there, pick guard, finished it up. Finished up the purplish blue body. Take a look at the backside. Has fuzz and everything all over it, but other than that, yeah. I think it looks pretty slick. Happy with it. All right, continue on with the neck problems. Oh, one of my favorite parts of the bill. Get to cut out the headstock. And I get to cheat because I have AutoCAD. So I was able to draft my headstock in AutoCAD and change it 4 or 5 times. I haven't done one for a base. So here she is, and I mirrored it to make it left-handed. So we'll trace it on here, and hopefully today I get this cut out. I was just about to cut this headstock when I said I better check the tuners. And as you can see, if I put the tuners where I have them placed right now, I'm going to cut off the corner here. So just need to slide the tuners a ½ inch or so. So I'm going to have to redraft this and reprint it. Okay, I got the reshaped headstock in here. And I feel confident now that the tuner should fit. It is still close, but the tuner is going to fit without showing out the backside. So I'm about to cut the headstock. I got punches for the holes for the tuners and the string tree. And I'm just going to use a chop saw to make the main cuts. And then once that's done, then I will fine tune it with some sanding of the Dremel. And then it's a bunch of hand sanding from there. Fun, fun. Okay, I finished rough cutting the headstock with the chop saw. This is about as close as I wanted to get it. As you can see, I'm using the entire paddle length of this headstock. I need it all to make this headstock work. So now it's a bunch of fine-tuned Dremel work. And I'm almost done with the Dremel work. It's done a nice job cleaning this thing up. Just got to get that corner. And as you can see, it's still pretty rough. You're really going to need to do a lot of hand sanding and there's some rough edges off to smooth out. Alright, little neck update. I finished putting the tuners on. I really like how they turned out. I re-stained this headstock about 4 times because I never was fully loving what it was looking like. But I think I'm finally to a point where I like it. Now I got a bunch of other work. I pulled the nut out, need to buy a new nut. But now I'm on to the fret marker fiasco. So I got dots on the wrong side of the neck. Now I gotta put dots on the right side of the neck. Or left side, right? Left, right, 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 right. Here's a little plastic things. I've never done this, so I'm sure it's going to be lots of fun. Haha! Side dots in. That actually wasn't too bad. I was worried that was going to suck. Currently doing the most important steps of the whole guitar build. So I've taped off the neck. Started to see some more high spots right here when I was... So there's a bunch of videos you could go check out to watch. You know, I just use a regular fret rocker. And you'll hear it, it kind of clicks. You can hear it, you know, teetering back and forth across the fret. So I've marked those two. Those two are a little high. This one's still a little high, and this one's just slightly high. So I got 4 to level, and then this is going to be done. I'm going to probably take one more pass with the sanding beam. I already used the fret file, and I rounded off all the fret corners like such, like this. And so those are all nice, taken care of, nice and dressed. And then I have the fret guru to recrown the frets. So I'll have to go back over these ones I've touched. And then I will polish it. So I got some rouge here, and I got a little buffing wheel. So some buffing compound in the wheel, and I'll make them nice and shiny like this. Morning, dudes. So I quasi have Mikey's bass done, but I'm not satisfied with it, so we got to fix it. Pretty bummed about it, to be honest with you. So let me get into what the problems are
and why I'm just not comfortable giving it to them yet. And let's go over the fix. Yeah. Here we go. Let's begin, shall we? All right, let's go over what I do love. Look how this body came out. That thing is solid. Man, it's beautiful. And the neck from a distance, it came out. I'm pretty pleased with it, to be honest with you. And then there's the problems. So, oh man, look at that. Do you see that? Yeah, it's not gonna hold tune very well. So what happened was I routed out the holes for the tuning pegs and not this bushing that goes over the top. And once you drill 4 holes of that size, it's hard to ream it out larger for a bigger bit to fit over there. So, and I was able to do that, and it was a struggle, and that came out okay. The problem is I still needed a larger bit even after I did that. And I had to use a Dremel. Wah, wah. That's a horrible idea. And so I overly drilled out this particular hole, and now the bushing doesn't fit very well. So let's talk about how I'm going to fix this problem. So my fix is pretty much cheating. I got a new neck. It's a little too shiny, as you can see, but I upped the game on this one. I got the Vine, Steve Vai-ish kind of inlay thing going. I had to wait a couple weeks to get this neck. So it's a nice left-handed neck. But of course, they sent me a left-handed neck, but the keen-sighted of you will notice that the nut is cut for a right-handed base. So it still wouldn't even work even if I wanted it to. At the very least, I would have to hopefully take out this nut without damaging it and flip it over. But I would imagine this isn't a true bone nut. Taking it out, I got another bone nut for Mike to fit this. So today's exercise, we're gonna take all this poly off this. We're gonna paint it similar to that. We're gonna take all the poly off the back of the neck, back of the neck, back of the heel. And I think I'm gonna leave the poly on the cap here, on the actual fretboard, and maybe some on the edge here, kind of protect this nice inlay that they did. And man, I am really pleased with the fret job they did on these fret ends. This is solid work, whoever did this. So I bought this from a guy in China. This is a Chinese made neck, but he had made another neck for me. This is solid maple, but I had bought for this guitar this solid Wingay, and I love this guitar. So same guy made these 2 necks. I'll post a link in the description for you if you're interested in purchasing a neck from this guy. Good price. I think each of these necks were right around $100. It's worth it for a good quality neck. I haven't checked to see the leveling of these frets yet, so that's the next thing. We got work to do to this. So let's get busy. Let's quit talking about it. Let's get to work. So I don't know how well this is going to show up on video, but can you see the amount of plastic still on the back of this neck right here? You see it right here, the discoloration? This is natural wood. This is where it goes back to the plastic. I still have plastic here. There is so much plastic on this neck. So as you can see, I've left this nice and shiny. I did get it off the headstock. Yeah, I have a few spots still left, but man, oh, it's gorgeous. Look at that grain. So making progress, but man, look at all that plastic I still have to remove. All right, I'm fearing engraving the K, but I got it carved out. I bought these really, really fine Dremel bits. I got the really fine ones outside. I'm ready to put on the K. We'll engrave it in there. I hope it turns out. I'll be disappointed if it doesn't.
But I got this super shiny poly off the rest of the neck. It's just on the fretboard now. Really happy how that came out. Hopefully the K comes out just as good. Okay, got the K on there. I stained it with some black stain. Is it perfect? No, but I kind of like that it's not. There's a little bit of bleed coming out of it, but it kind of looks like I burned it on there, but really etched it on. Now the trick is to see what the other colors do, and hopefully it doesn't bleed into the K too bad. So. All right, we're getting down to moments of truth here. Got the neck on, got the tuners on. Had to do a little mod here for the left-handed bass, as you can see, because these are, I guess, for right-handed bass players. I don't know. Anyways, it turned out pretty good. Really liking the neck. So, got it on the body. So I'm just gonna check the level of these frets. I just straighten the neck. Around here are my tools somewhere, and I'm gonna check, make sure there's no high frets. All right, we got a few high frets here. If you're measuring them, I got a whole bunch here in the middle I gotta fix. I love it when I tape the neck. It's so satisfying. Gotta check the leveling one more time, then we'll crown and polish. We are so close to the finish line.
Camera now.
Well, so I brought a bass. I hope you don't mind me using the amp. Two problems. It's left-handed and it's yours. Yay!
Before I even open it.
You bet, brother. Hope you get some years of use out of it.
Let's see it.
I think this is at the bottom. And I would definitely get a much better case than that for it.
I have a hard case.
I actually had to research like left-handed cases and stuff. I was like, is that a thing? I don't think that's a thing.
Ooh, very pretty.
Oh wow.
Show the camera.
I need to learn how to play.
Yeah, I need to learn how to play.